You went for the wrong person, dude. She has all these friends that are gonna be asking where she is. You're fucked. It's over. Olvídate. Okay, so today I wanted to watch that chapter video that Mike has titled The Sinister Case of Khalil Wheeler Weaver. Whenever he has sinister in the title, it catches my eye, of course, but it also scares me. So just buckle in.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this old video, for the first time, we are going to New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. The land of the Sopranos,
Hey.
Springsteen, Bon Jovi. Yeah, that's about it. I actually went through it once on a train. Kind of wish the train had gone faster. I'm joking. It's the best place in America. My personal favorite.
I don't know. I don't know about
This
that.
is the story of a guy, some gals, and an app called Tagged, which I had never heard of before. And Tagged put this guy on the map. And it also got him off it though. So, thanks. I guess great stuff. Alright, that about wraps up the intro. Let's have a go at the Garden State.
Oh no, this is worrisome. Hotel
The
room
city
footage.
of Orange in this old one located in the heart of Essex County. Though it's not actually a city, the residents voted to change it from city to township to get more federal money, so that's fun. There's no oranges there, by the way. I know, right? What's the deal with the name? Because the first thing when I think of New Jersey is the tropics. No, it turned out it was named after some king of Orange back in the day. Anyways, we're talking today, not back in it. A little over 30,000 people live there. It's a post-industrial city. A lot of abandoned buildings. And it was on the 1st of September 2016 that one of these abandoned buildings went up in flames.
Alright.
On
Fire.
Lakeside Avenue, North Orange, at 2 a.m., an empty house was the scene of a major fire. 5 different cities sent trucks to put out the blaze. It was thought the whole neighborhood could go up. The fire would be put out after some bloody hard work. And inside the house, a body would be found. A body, the City of Orange's arson investigator, who had been 17 years on the job, he would say it was the most destructed body he had ever seen.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, so whoever it was that started that fire was trying to cover up that body. Fuck. That's, oh my god. Sinister indeed.
While the firefighters fought the blaze and made the grim discovery, little did they know that among the crowd of onlookers that very night was the killer, watching the entire show.
Fuck.
It was 2 weeks later that the body was identified. It was identified via dental records. It was a woman named Robin West, and she was the first that we know of.
The badly burned body
No.
of Robin West was found inside this house after the fire was put out back on September 1st. She reportedly worked as a prostitute out of a hotel in Union Township and was from Chester, Pennsylvania.
Robin was from Philadelphia. She had 2 older brothers and she had a tough upbringing, living for a time at a treatment facility for young people with behavioral and mental health issues. She was an adventurous, strong-minded person, daughter of an assistant pastor, and she loved to sing. She left home at age 18 and was just turning 20, or would have 4 days after her body was found.
Damn,
She
man.
ended up working as an exotic dancer and eventual sex worker in Philadelphia. And it was in late August that Robin and a friend visited New Jersey. They were only staying a few nights. On the 31st of August, they went out in Newark. And as they were on the footpath, a car, the silver sedan, stopped by them. The driver of the car, her Robin's friend, would later say he was nice, he was charming, and he pointed at Robin, and she got in drove to that house on Lakeside Avenue.
Fuck, dude. That same house?
It was the 22nd of October 2016 that the next woman would disappear. Joanne Brown was 33 years old, from Augusta, Maine. She had a good number of siblings, and they all moved to Newark when she was just 5 years old. She was nice, lovely, but did struggle with mental health issues, namely bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. After high school, Joanne worked as an exotic dancer under the name London. Later, she worked as a sex worker, something her friends were concerned for her about. And she tried to leave. She moved into a building run by a non-profit that offered drug treatment and counseling. Gave her a schedule, rules, but it was tough.
Damn,
it was on the afternoon of the 22nd of October, a week before Halloween, that Joanne and a friend of hers, they were hanging outside in front of a Popeyes in South Newark. The guy, he pulled up beside him about 1:15 in the PM. Once again, pointed at Joanne. She got in. She didn't have her phone with her that day, so in the car, she asked if she could borrow this guy's phone to call her friend, just let her know where she was going, when she'd be back. And she did, but of course she didn't really know where she was going. They ended up wheeling and weaving to a place the killer had just been, preparing. Inside the abandoned house on Highland Avenue in Orange, he wrapped her head in duct tape and strangled her to death.
Oh my god, so this is just this guy's MO. He just looks for abandoned homes, takes these women there, and then he whacks them. This is terrible. This is terrible.
Called Joanne's friend. Her number was still in his phone. When she answered, he didn't say anything. He just breathed. Then hung up.
Ugh. That's eerie.
When her friend tried to call back, no answer. Joanne, she wouldn't be found inside that abandoned house for another month and a half. Before she was found, though, the killer would strike again. Twice more.
No. These poor women.
Tiffany Taylor grew up in Jersey City before moving to Orlando and studying music and psychology and becoming a professional dancer. However, when she became pregnant, she left Florida, left college, and she moved back to New Jersey. Then she started working as a sex worker to get by. At this stage, she was living out of her car. And she knew a young fella who she had met through a friend. And this guy was 13 years younger than herself. Tiffany, 33, this guy, 20. And he was just obsessed with Tiffany. Non-stop begging to just hook up with her. And then he started offering to pay to hook up with her. She declined until eventually in April 2016 she said yes. She said yes with a sly grin because she was gonna rob him. So she pulled up at his house, got out, went into his bedroom, got paid cash in advance, and then when she was there she was like, snap. I left my condoms back in my car. I'll go get them, be right back. She then drove off. She was having a great time. Then in November 2016, 7 months later, she started getting weird texts from a number she didn't know. And again, it was a guy begging to hook up with her. Right? She changed her phone.
Oh no.
Still was getting texts. She had no idea how he got her new number. But he did. She declined again until he kept going on. And he said he'd pay her whatever she wanted. And then she was like, fine. That was on the 15th of November 2016.
He found her.
Once again, she was gonna rob him. They met at her motel. And this guy was wearing a ski mask.
Fuck.
And then they drove. They were gonna drive to a quiet place. As they were driving, he asked her to pull over so he could go for a pee. And when she did, he bashed her on the head and he handcuffed her. He then started choking her and he took off the ski mask. Now she knew he was gonna kill her because she recognized him obviously from those months before. As he was choking her, she said, "No, you don't kill me. I left my phone back in the motel room. It has all your information on it. All the messages we sent. You can't kill me." So then the guy said, "Oh shit, I guess we gotta go back to your room. Get your phone. And then I'll kill you."
Oh my god.
Tiffany was double jointed.
No.
So as he drove, she, in the back seat, was able to get out of the cuffs And as they got out of the car in the motel parking lot and started walking back to the room to
Go
get the
run.
phone, she managed to leg it in ahead of him, got in and slammed the door behind her.
Oh my
He
god.
started shouting and roaring, and then he ran off. The police then arrived. This clip will show you just how unhelpful they were, and Tiffany was 4 months pregnant at this time.
Bruh. So you're gonna tell me that she was able to do all of this and they still didn't catch him? Oh my god.
What injuries do you what injuries do you have?
Look at my face and the duct tape.
For the what?
And the duct tape, my face.
When did he duct tape you?
Huh?
In the car?
In the car.
So you let him duct tape you, or what happened? I just need to
And
know.
he put the handcuffs on me first. He choked me out, and after he choked me out,
What was all happened in the car?
yeah.
Where were you parked at this time?
Um,
The gas station over there?
no, it was by the gas station.
By the gas
It was
station?
that block.
It was in his car.
It was in his car.
So he took the duct tape with him.
Had to, yeah.
And he just ran away?
Ran away.
They treated her like shit and would say they didn't believe her. And the entire time.
Bro, this is what happened. Like, you know, I don't want to paint cops like bad people that don't believe women. That's not it. It's just that it's always shown in the past that they just don't trust women who have been involved in sex work because there's drugs involved and all of that. We understand there's a stigma, but she was not lying.
The killer was watching. A week later, he would kill again. If they had listened, he wouldn't have been able to. Simple as. The next victim, though, was someone entirely different, like, all together. Serial killers, they, a lot of times you'll see them targeting sex workers. It's tragic, but, they are sometimes called the
Yep.
less dead, because if they go missing,
No one
serial killers
cares.
know the police won't look too hard if they get reported missing at all. The next
Exactly.
victim wasn't a sex worker at all. She came from a
Thank you,
good
Mike.
house, a good upbringing, good family. She was in college studying to get her degree. All of that. For this guy going for a victim outside of his usual pool, that would be his undoing. Sarah Butler was a dancer. So good, she traveled as part of a group. And in 2016, she was attending New Jersey City University. She had 2 sisters, Sarah, the bubbly middle one, and worked as a lifeguard for a time, before moving into the dorms
Oh, she's so
in her
pretty.
new car. At the college dorms, though, she found making friends very difficult. And so she downloaded an app called Tagged. Now, what is Tagged? Well, from what I can gather, it's sort of like Tinder or something like that. It's an app to meet people. About
Oh.
300 million people use it, so a few. And in America, the demographic is mostly in the 35 to 49 age range, female and African American. It's been in decline since Tinder launched 8 years after Tag did. And well, here, listen, point is, it's a place to meet people. So you can see why Sarah, who may have been kind of lonely moving to this university, she would have used this. There, Sarah, screen name Sarah Smile, she met a guy named Lil Yacht Rock. They started messaging, and he offered her $500 for sex.
Little Yacht Rock. Sorry. Terrible screen name. Bruh?
Now, Sarah's friends and family would say that was very out of character for her to accept that offer. She did waver
girl.
for a bit, but it was very strange for her. But regardless, on the night of the 22nd of November, she borrowed her family's minivan and drove off to meet Lil Yacht Rock.
No.
They agreed to meet at the same house Joanne Brown's body was in, still there, wrapped in duct tape.
The audacity.
Undiscovered, and it wouldn't be for another 2 weeks. He got in, and they drove out to Eagle Rock Reservation, arriving there before 11 p.m. And then he murdered her, strangled her to death, and left her under rocks and branches. The next morning, her friends and family asked around, anybody know where she is? Anybody seen her? Calls going unanswered, worry
Man, you went for the wrong person, dude. She has all these friends that are gonna be asking where she is. You're fucked. It's over. Olvídate.
3 days after she disappeared, the minivan she was in was found behind an abandoned building. Police were called, and Sarah's hair extension was found on the floor of the vehicle. Now, the police weren't really much help at all. They haven't been in this entire case. And this is when you'll see who really solved it. Sarah's friends. They took over. And one of the first things they did...
Bruh. What is really bothering me here is the fact that the police just keep turning a blind eye. In some cases, the cops do great and they're on point, but in this one,
did was they went to Sarah's house and opened her laptop. One of her friends, Samantha, knew her login details. So they were going in looking for clues. Who was she last talking to, her messages, all that kind of stuff. There, they went into tagged, they found Lil Yacht Rock. Then Sarah's friends created a fake profile, fake picture, and they went looking for this guy on tagged. They found him right away, and they started messaging him. In the meantime, they gave all of this to the police, and as they were giving statements, Lil Yacht Rock replied to Samantha.
okay. Ooh. Did he drop his real name though?
They agreed to meet up? Well, he agreed to meet up. 2 detectives went in their place. And who did they meet? Khalil Wheeler Weaver. Not really much is known about Khalil Wheeler Weaver, to be honest. He was a quiet guy, kept to himself, you know, under the radar sort of fella. He had a YouTube channel where he played music. Moving swiftly on. He was a local orange lad. Didn't have many friends, didn't play sports, didn't do parties, didn't have any known girlfriends. He graduated high school in 2014, so was only 20 at the time of the killings. Like I said, he was a quiet, under-the-radar type of guy. Not many people had much to say about him. The friends he did have also said he rarely spoke. But when he did, he'd come out with the funniest shit. He came...
That is fucked up. Like, do you see how, like, regular he looks? How just, like, plain? Un cualquiera. Like, he could just be anybody on the street and he's just out here fucking just murdering women. That is terrifying, dude.
From a good home, a good neighborhood, good family, a law family. His stepdad was a detective. His uncle, also a detective.
What?
After school, he began to come out of his shell a bit more. Maybe too much. He started DJing at parties, he got a silver sedan, and he started dating. For work, he became a security guard at a grocery store, and he was also looking into becoming a cop himself. That seems to happen a lot, by the way. You gotta wonder how many cops killed people and then became cops.
That's scary.
Anyway, then all of this happened. So when the 2 detectives met Khalil after, you know, those tagged conversations, nothing happened. What would? They didn't arrest him. He was just then he just became a suspect, but they had nothing on him. Then, but around the same time they traced Sarah's phone to where it was last used, and they found her.
Family is desperate for answers after a woman was found dead days after she went missing. 20-year-old Sarah Butler is from Montclair. Her Dodge Caravan was found in Orange. Her body later found at Eagle Rock Reservation in West Orange.
Sarah was last seen 2 days before Thanksgiving, right before a scheduled family trip to Jamaica. For over a week, her
That's
family
so
and friends
sad.
desperately prayed and awaited answers. until her 2007 Dodge Caravan was found abandoned in Orange, followed by the gruesome discovery of her body inside Eagle Rock Reservation in West Orange yesterday morning. The Essex County Prosecutor's Office is now investigating as friends and loved ones remain haunted with questions like why did this happen and who is responsible.
A couple of days later, Khalil was arrested, and they started working through what they had.
Is this the face of a serial killer?
This case is
Yeah.
getting bigger day by day. Khalil Wheeler Weaver may be responsible for the death of a 19-year-old. Khalil Wheeler Weaver had never been in trouble with the law until now, but neighbors of the suspect say they are surprised.
Sir, surprise is a loose word. I'm flabbergasted beyond belief.
Why do you do that? Why?
State versus Khalil Wheeler Weaver.
A security guard at a shop right in Union Township said nothing in Judge Wigler's courtroom as he was indicted.
Against her plea of not guilty on all charges.
He was first picked up by authorities in early December.
Today we arraigned Mr. Wheeler Weaver.
My thing is, how are you gonna do all this shit and then just say nothing? I just don't get it.
On the indictment charging him with 3 murders and 1 attempted murder. And he entered his plea of not guilty. We scheduled a court date in May to continue the process and move forward towards a trial.
His phone records showed everywhere he went, everywhere he spent time in, and where everybody was. It would later turn out that after the disappearance of Robin West and Sarah Butler, Khalil had been interviewed, both times by police, saying, yep, I had seen them. Last I saw, they were happy and healthy. They were anything but. 2 more phones were found in his home, and searches on those phones were, well, what you would expect, to be honest. How to make homemade poisons, and what chemical makes people go bye-bye.
Oh my god.
The locations also showed that after setting the house fire with Robin West in it, he left, but then came back again, around to watch. Wanted to watch his handiwork, started yapping away to the crowd, having great crack, right? And he did the same thing with Tiffany. He watched as the police interviewed her in the motel, probably with popcorn.
That's fucked.
Authorities would investigate for 3 years before bringing him to trial. Tiffany Taylor, the only woman, well, the only survivor, and she knew Khalil before all of this, before he killed and tried to kill her, she would be a star witness during the trial. He pled not guilty. Didn't work.
So let's
2-547. As to count 1, charging the defendant with the murder of Robin West, what is your verdict?
Guilty.
Yeah.
As to count 2, charging the defendant with desecrating human remains of Robin West, what is your verdict?
Guilty.
As to count 3,
Ain't nobody
charging
shocked.
the defendant with aggravated arson, what is your verdict?
Guilty.
As to count 6, charging the
I don't know how you thought you were not guilty, sir. I don't.
Guilty.
As to count 7,
I don't.
charging the defendant with attempted murder.
It was in December 2019 that Khalil Wheeler Weaver was found guilty of 11 charges, including murder, attempted murder, kidnapping, and aggravated arson. At his sentencing in October 2021, Khalil said they got the wrong guy. It's a frame job.
Dear God, that's all you're gonna say? That's all he's gonna say for himself. You got all the evidence, and that's all he's gonna say.
I would like to address the courts by saying that throughout the course of this whole ordeal, I have maintained and expressed my innocence vehemently, and to this day I continue to. The assistant prosecutor, Adam Wells, knowingly and purposely misled the courts and the families of the victims into believing that I was the person who committed these crimes. I would like to say I do feel empathy for the victims, and my heart goes out to their families and friends. However, I was not, and I repeat, I was not the person who committed these crimes. And with that being said, I have clear and convincing evidence that I was set up, I was lied on, and I was framed by the Essex County Prosecutor's Office.
He was sentenced to 160 years in prison.
I mean, I would love to see that evidence.
Eternal and profound grief that is personal to
That you were
me and
framed.
will not go away until I take my last breath. Your Honor, on behalf of the family of the late Robert F. Michelle West, know that hundreds of people were affected by her life and saddened due to her death. None of the victims deserve what happened to them. None of them asked for it. We just wanted everybody home for Thanksgiving. He was coming home for Thanksgiving.
And I hope you find in your heart that you can give him the longest maximum sentence. And I hope that he lives for a very long time.
Yeah.
And they make him suffer every night in there, like he made our girl suffer.
Oh my God, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you suffer, boy.
I also want to say this first.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, because that man has obviously lost his daughter, and he's angry. I get it, but he looked him right in the eye and he was like, "I hope you suffer, son." That's funny.
He still didn't do it. Makes me feel like he has no type of remorse about it.
Yes.
At all. Like he hasn't even shed a tear about anything.
Yeah, I agree fully.
He's not sorry at all about what he did, and I'm over 100% sure it was him. He told me who he was.
It's 160 years, 145 years of parole now.
Damn, and she was choked by him, and he put like tape on her face. She was the person that survived. So how can he say that that's not him?
Again, is that this defendant never walked among society again.
Crazy story of a serial killer in New Jersey, and a young fella with a thirst for blood. Pretty much all women who solved this one, not the cops. They're the ones who got Khalil, lured him and tagged, told the police who it was before Sarah was killed, which could have been prevented. Could have prevented it if they had just taken her seriously. And if he hadn't been, if it wasn't for them finding him untagged, would have kept going. Not anymore. Once again, it's always the quiet ones, what? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here.
Thank you, Mike.
Here, go on. See you as always real soon in the next whole video. Until then, please take care of yourselves. I love you. Mike out.
Take care of yourself. Fuck, dude. Oh my God, that one just made me really angry. I kind of want to read some of the comments. I want to see what everyone thought of this video, because whoa. I can't believe how many times he was almost caught to then just not get caught. Like, what? Those cops are a perfect example of why serial killers take forever to get caught, because they blame the victim, never believe the victims, and just blatantly don't care. That does happen sometimes, depending on the area that you're in, and it's fucking annoying. It's really frustrating, but I'm really happy that in this case, at least the friends were able to look at the situation and be like, this is very irregular for my friend. I have to do my digging and just do whatever I can to bring this to the police and trust that maybe they'll figure it out. That was, yes, the part where the cop said, "So you let him duct tape you?" That made me so upset. Yes, Sarah's friends are incredible, incredible people. I feel so sad that she's gone now, but there was justice served. Oh, Mike, what have you done? You've made me so sad over this case, but I'm glad that I know about this one now. It's interesting when you find serial killers that don't normally match like the usual stereotype of what like a serial killer would look like, and it's like a modern day take on what a serial killer is. And I'm just happy that he didn't get further into this. He only got like a few victims in, you know what I mean? But yeah, those are my thoughts on this case. And goodbye.